Well, I have good news for you today. The good news today is that we should live like we are dying, because we are. Today we're specifically looking at Speaking Sweeter. This is a 4-part series, so all month we'll be focused on living like you were dying. This sermon series is based on a song that was a #1 country song. It was a big hit. It was sung by Tim McGraw. It's entitled, "Live Like You Were Dying." And in this song, you will hear some of the parts of our sermon series. And I'm actually going to play the song for you a little bit later in the service. But first of all, I want to encourage you to live like you are dying. I must confess I have a little bit of an advantage over you, in so much that it's been about 500 days ago I had a stroke. And I could have died. I perhaps even should have died. Some of the doctors told me that. And some of the residual effects of that stroke are that occasionally I will get a little dizzy, because it affected the part of my brain that has to do with balance. The cerebellum was affected. So I do pretty much everything that I used to do, but I don't do it quite as well. And I get dizzy when if I drop something and I go to pick it up. I get dizzy if I shake my head yes or no vigorously. If I move quickly, I get dizzy. So I get up a little bit more slowly than I used to. So what does all this mean? It means, to me, that I am possibly getting dizzy because I'm having another stroke. My very first symptom of having a stroke was dizziness. So every time I get dizzy, an alarm goes off in my brain and it says, "Are you having another stroke?" And that happens multiple times throughout every day of my life. And so I am constantly reminded that today may be my last day. I've had to live like I was dying, because I am, and so are you. During the past few months, I've been in conversation and actually made a visit to my close cousin in Ohio. Her name is Linda. She has ovarian cancer, probably has anywhere from a week to a month to live. She's been on all kinds of experimental drugs, and it's prolonged her life for years after she was first diagnosed. She's only 49 right now, but she is living like she is dying, because she is. She is dying. I talked to her last weekend, and she indicated that hospice told her that she was in the last stages, that she would be dying soon. And then I've often wondered, wouldn't it be ironic if I died before she did? Everyone expects her to die, but I don't think too many people expect me to die anytime soon. But of course we know that we're all just one little blood clot away, one accident away from dying. So how would your life change if you were to live like you were dying? The Bible tells us in Ecclesiastes 8:8, none of us has the power to prevent the day of our death. We don't have that power. We can postpone the day of our death to some extent, in some cases, by a healthy lifestyle. If you don't smoke, you may live longer. You may postpone it, but you can't prevent it. You will die. The death rate of our congregation is 100%. there is no escape. So, how would you be different if you were to really live like you were dying? What would it mean to live like you were dying? If you got word today that you only had 30 days to live, how would your life change? Would it change at all? How would you spend your time if you had 30 days to live? How would it impact your relationships? And how would you pray, or prepare rather, for eternity? What would you do that you've never done before? Would you go skydiving? Would you go scuba diving? How would you live if you were to live like you were dying? How would God want you to spend those 30 days? In this sermon series, we're going to be looking at speaking sweeter, loving deeper, giving forgiveness, and embracing eternity. Those are the things I think we would like to do, among perhaps others, if we were to live like we were dying. Here's a video that I'd like to share with you. It's about life.
Life is random.
What are the odds?
In either case, life is something we wrestle with every day. Sometimes life is great.
Life number one!
We see that life is short and are determined not to let life pass us by. We live each day squeezing every last drop out of our one and only life. We love life and walk around totally high on life.
Now that's the good stuff.
Especially when you find the love of your life and make a new life together. Life is never quite the same after that. And pretty soon you experience the joy of bringing a new life into the world. But that's when life can get complicated. Suddenly, your life isn't the only life you have to worry about. Life can get a little routine, predictable, sometimes plain boring. And you can even start to feel trapped by life.
No.
You wonder, what happened to my life?
What happened to you?
How did my life get like this?
How'd you get like this?
And next thing you know, you're having a midlife crisis.
I want a Corvette.
To make matters worse, you start to worry about your kids' life. You try to shape their life and give their life some direction. But all they care about is their social life.
Isn't that a beautiful thing?
Hello? Oh, hey, Susie. Yeah, I'd love to come over and study.
And the more you try to help them, the more they say things like, "This is my life," or "Stop ruining my life." But you can't help thinking they are taking their life for granted. Yep, life can be confusing. It can make you mad. And sometimes life stinks.
Dude.
You look at life and wonder,
What's your point, huh, tough guy? You got a point? I want to know it.
you can feel beaten down by life,
Hey.
crushed by life. Your life starts spinning out of control, and you can't get your life back on track. You start to think, is this all life has to offer?
You're only making him angrier.
But nothing puts life in perspective like a near-death experience.
Run for your life.
Then you cling to life. You realize that life is precious.
You are so precious.
Life is sweet. You say, I have a new lease on life.
Booyah!
My life will never be the same.
Yeah!
And if you're lucky, you may even find your life's purpose. Or not.